Welcome back to Universal Insight. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. I don't think people understand just how much a single factory can mean to a small town until it's gone. On June 27, 2025, Emporia, Kansas, fell silent. The hum of daily life was replaced by an uneasy stillness, as if the town itself was holding its breath. The Tyson Foods plant, once the town's economic engine and largest employer, shut its doors for good after decades of operation. The final shift ended not with relief, but with a sense of loss that rippled through every family and business in Emporia. Workers left behind more than a job. They left behind a way of life, friendships forged on the line, and the pride of steady work. Tyson's closure cut over 800 jobs, echoing similar shutdowns across the country as the industry faces mounting pressures. In Philadelphia, another 1,000 lost work, joining a growing wave of layoffs that's sweeping through the heartland. Missouri, Iowa, and more followed. These aren't just statistics. They're stories of livelihoods upended and dreams put on hold. Their families, futures, and the fabric of small-town America unraveling as uncertainty seeps into every home. The plant was more than a workplace. It was a community anchor offering steady jobs, health insurance, and a path to the middle class for generations. Now that promise is gone, replaced by uncertainty and fear. Local businesses brace for fewer customers, schools worry about shrinking enrollments, and families wonder how they'll make ends meet. The closure wasn't a surprise, but its finality hit hard. Rumors had swirled for months, but hope lingered until the very end. The town's heartbeat faded, leaving a void that echoes in every empty storefront and silent street. Emporia's story is a snapshot of a national crisis. Corporate decisions made far away, with devastating local consequences that ripple through entire communities. The social fabric is tearing as neighbors struggle to support each other while facing their own hardships. Neighbors who once worked side by side now face an uncertain future, searching for new opportunities in a shrinking job market. The Tyson plant's end marks a fundamental shift in the American economy as automation, consolidation, and global competition reshape entire industries. It's not just about one town. It's about the future of American meatpacking, and the people whose lives depend on it. The question remains, what happens to the communities left behind, when the jobs and the hope are gone? For Emporia, the answer is still painfully unclear. The silence lingers, and the future hangs in the balance. Why is Tyson, a giant in the industry, closing plants? It's a perfect storm of rising costs, labor shortages, and food safety pressures. Livestock prices have soared, squeezing profits. Companies can't always pass those costs to consumers already battling inflation. Labor is another crisis. The work is tough and dangerous, and finding enough staff is harder than ever. COVID-19 exposed these vulnerabilities, and the labor shortage has only grown. Older plants are expensive to maintain and upgrade for safety. When risks outweigh rewards, closure becomes the only option. Tyson's strategy: consolidate into fewer, larger, more automated plants. For workers and towns, this efficiency feels like abandonment. The industry's pain is spreading and the fallout is just beginning. Emporia's pain is immediate. Before the closure, unemployment was low. Now, it's nearly doubled. The Tyson plant was a cornerstone, employing over 2% of Lyon County's workforce. Its loss ripples through every corner. Restaurants, shops, schools, and city budgets all feel the strain. Most former workers remain in town, but many can't find jobs that match what they lost. Families face tough choices, stretching paychecks, taking part-time work, or moving away. The empty plant is a daily reminder of what's gone. City leaders scramble to attract new business, but replacing 800 good jobs is daunting. Emporia's story is a warning. Towns built around a single industry are vulnerable. When that industry leaves, the community is left to pick up the pieces. The future is uncertain, and the wounds are deep. What comes next is anyone's guess. Tyson isn't alone. The entire meatpacking industry is reeling. In 2024 and 2025, plant closures hit a decade high, at least 15 each year. Butterball closed its Jonesboro, Arkansas plant, cutting 180 jobs. Boar's Head shut down in Virginia after a deadly listeria outbreak, costing 600 jobs. Each closure sends shockwaves through local economies and exposes the industry's fragility. A handful of corporations control most of America's meat supply. When they stumble, the whole system shakes. Consolidation was meant to bring efficiency, but it's also created dangerous vulnerabilities. High costs, labor shortages, and safety risks are forcing a painful contraction. These aren't isolated events. They're symptoms of a deeper industry crisis. the future of American meatpacking hangs in the balance. The closures hit more than workers. They devastate farmers and threaten consumers. Contract growers, deep in debt for specialized facilities, are left stranded when plants close. Their investments become worthless overnight. Family farms, sometimes generations old, can collapse from a single corporate decision. This power imbalance is drawing scrutiny and legal challenges. For consumers, fewer plants mean less competition and higher prices. The supply chain grows more brittle as seen during the pandemic's shortages. Permanent closures concentrate production, making the food system more vulnerable. Despite rumors, there's no evidence of political intervention or foreign takeovers, just hard economic realities. The crisis is real, and the solutions must be too. As the dust settles, towns like Emporia face a daunting road ahead. Displaced workers must retrain or relocate, while families stretch budgets and hope for new opportunities. Community leaders race to attract new industries, but replacing a major employer is a monumental task. The crisis exposes the risks of relying on a single company or industry. Some hope for a shift towards smaller regional processors and a more resilient food system. For now, consolidation and automation continue, leaving many behind. The closures are a wake-up call. The current model is unsustainable. Real solutions will require cooperation from corporations, policymakers, and communities. The survival of countless towns and the stability of America's food supply depend on finding a better way forward. The future is uncertain, but the need for change is undeniable. When a meatpacking plant closes its doors, the impact goes far beyond the factory gates. On Main Street, shop owners watch foot traffic dwindle. Cafes that once bustled with workers grabbing lunch now serve empty tables. Local hardware stores, clothing shops, and even pharmacies feel the pinch as families tighten their belts. For decades, these small businesses thrived on the steady rhythm of paydays and community events, all supported by plant workers and their families. Now, with paychecks gone and uncertainty looming, some owners face the heartbreaking decision to cut hours, or close up for good. The loss ripples outward. Fewer sales mean less tax revenue for schools, parks, and emergency services. Sponsorships for Little League teams and local charities dry up. The social fabric that once held the community together begins to fray. But amid the struggle, there are sparks of resilience. Some entrepreneurs pivot to new products or services, while neighbors rally to support local shops through buy local campaigns. The road ahead is tough, but the spirit of these towns, tested though it is, remains unbroken. Behind every shuttered storefront and quiet street, there are real people, each with a story shaped by the plant's closure. Meet Maria, a single mother who worked the early shift for 10 years. Now she juggles odd jobs, determined to keep her kids in the same school. Or James, a second-generation worker who once dreamed of buying his own home, now faced with the tough choice of leaving the only town he's ever known. Some, like Linda and Tom, band together, starting a community garden to help feed neighbors and provide purpose in uncertain times. Others retrain for new careers, facing the daunting prospect of starting over in their 40s and 50s. Each story is unique, but the themes are shared: loss, adaptation, and hope. As the community navigates this unexpected chapter, their resilience shines through. It's in the laughter at a potluck dinner, the determination in a job interview, and the comfort found in a neighbor's helping hand. In the end, these personal journeys remind us that beyond the economic statistics, it's people, and their unwavering spirit, who define and rebuild a town,